Today, we're talking about the Firefly. But first, we have to do my quiz whiz! Every time I make a new episode, we do a quiz whiz! And our quiz whiz today is: how long do fireflies live? A, 2 weeks. B, around 2 months. Or C, 3 years. This will be revealed at the end of the episode. So, fireflies. They're not actually flies, even though they're called fireflies. They're actually a type of beetle. Different species have different flash patterns, and if you see them at the right time of night and the right time of year, it looks like magic. They love moisture, so on a moist night, like sometime after it rains, where it's still moist in the air, that's often when they'll come out. And how do fireflies glow? That is the biggest question. And the answer is they mix chemicals, including oxygen, luciferin, calcium, and adenosine triphosphate. The oxygen that they breathe in, they add something called super oxide anion, which makes when all those chemicals mix together, that stuff makes a chemical reaction happen to make them light up. This is called bioluminescence. They produce almost no heat when they do this. When people used to study firefly chemicals, they would have to kill fireflies for it. But now there are other ways to find out about firefly chemicals. So, some adult species don't glow. They can glow orange, green, yellow, light red, and more. Some firefly larvae, and sometimes even their eggs, glow. Some adults don't eat. Others eat pollen. Some are predators. Their predators don't like the firefly taste, which is why they glow. It's like a message of the firefly saying, don't eat. If you're going to eat me, you're not going to like me. And then the predator eats it and is like, ooh, this is gross. And they never eat a firefly again, which is very good for the fireflies. Not so good for the predator. So, some of her worst predators is actually humans. Their numbers are declining because of habitat destruction, light pollution, weed killers, pesticide. It all makes their numbers decline, which is very bad for them. Like, what if we never saw fireflies? if we never saw fireflies, that would be kind of sad because they are amazing. So the reason they light up is so that their mates can find them. Well, the males find the females because the females can't fly. They just sit there on the ground, and the males are like dancing around with their lights. And then the female's like, I like that male's dance. And then they go flash. And since different species do it differently, like for example, I'm pretending to be a made-up kind of firefly species, and I like flash, 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 and the female's like, I like that male. He's the brightest. So she's like, flash, 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 just like the male. And then the male comes over to her, and they have eggs. So sometimes the males synchronize their flash. At first they're like flash, 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 flash. But soon they're like flash. They're like flash, 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 flash. Like a wave. Like it's like some fireflies flash, which causes other fireflies to flash, all the way until the end of the firefly chain. Which is pretty cool. There are over 2,000 species. One species, called the rover firefly, eat other fireflies. They mimic the flashing of a different species of firefly when they see that flash, and the male's like, ooh, I'm going to go over to that female because she likes me. And then she gobbles him up. Yum, yum, yum. Their blood is actually poisonous to small vertebrates. If a small vertebrate like a mouse is about to eat it, the firefly will make itself have bleed a tiny bit, and then when the animal eats it, which is good for the firefly once again, not for the predator. So, did you know that glowing fireflies live in the east, but non-glowing fireflies live in both places, but glowing fireflies only live in the east. If you catch a firefly with a jar, don't keep it for more than 2 to 3 days. Because what if they haven't mated yet? Then they won't ever mate. If I caught a firefly, I would probably just keep it for a minute, long enough so I can look it over and then release it. And now it's time for our Quiz Whiz Answer! And our Quiz Whiz Answer is in my Book of Everything! My Book of Everything has everything there is to know about animals. Let's look up the firefly. Here it is. The answer is option B, around 2 months. But if you count their lives when they're larvae underground, then they live around 2 years. Well,